take a second to talk to you about underdogs.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for
Yeah.
you.
Fly, Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, really time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly. So I am still home. I'm still home right after this show. I will be on the road, headed on over to Kansas City for the draft. So excited. Today is going to be a call-in show. So if you guys want to join, the link is going to be pinned in the top comments, excuse me. So if you guys want to talk, definitely join. I wanted to talk a little bit before we get into that, though. I wanted to talk about, the notion that Eagles are calling to move up in this draft. I don't know that there's really a team that would want to move down. I know that, some of the teams up there, maybe a Lions, but that would be a little costly to get up there. Maybe you look at the Chicago Bears, but they probably want to get the best offensive lineman. It depends on how the draft goes. So I really don't know. I still believe that the Eagles' best chance of moving that number 10, if they want to move it, is going to be moving back. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see, if the Eagles actually do. I know a lot of people, this is the time that you go through a lot of this news and you just kind of take it with a grain of salt, realistically. And that's why I'm not like putting out anything I really hear right now, because it's like all this is right now, just kind of take it with a grain of salt, because it's a lot of just, I don't even want to say clickbait, but a lot of assumptions, a lot of presuming that things are going to happen. And the Eagles can do a number of things, and you've heard a number of things that the Eagles want to do. So, I mean, take everything with a grain of salt. Let's wait till we see what happens in the draft. I am so excited for this draft, not only because I'm going to be there, but I do feel like the Eagles can put themselves in a very good position, not only for now, but the future with this draft. So I do think, I've talked about hot takes before. I've talked about it on my Twitter as well. I do believe the Eagles trade that number 10 pick. I don't believe it's going to be up. I do believe it's back. But I also think that we're going to be trading for a player at some point in this draft. You look at how things may fall. If you get to a position where you don't have Jahmyr Gibbs or a Bijan Robinson there, and the Titans might take a third or a fourth for Derrick Henry. If that's something you want to do, I think the Eagles might do it. I really do believe like the Eagles are all in right now. I don't think that there's going to be wasted cap space. I don't think we're just going to, go into next year with $20 million and be happy about that. I think we're going to look for a way to spend that money. Now, if everything stays the same with the draft picks, we'll be around 13 point something, 14 millish in cap space after the draft pick. So even if you don't give up anything this year as far as draft capital, you can trade next year's draft capital and you can get yourself a pretty good player. So I'm excited to see what happens. I am definitely excited to see what happens. Who we got in the building so far? I know this is very impromptu. I usually do these at 7:00, but today I am leaving literally right after this. So, I wanted to kind of get it done. I wanted to make sure I said what up to everybody. What's going on? Bet on Yourself Media says, hello, Joe. I pray all is well in KC. I'm excited to be out there. I'm so excited to be out there. Me and my girl are driving out there. And shout out to the digital print house. If you guys like these hats, let me know, because I'm thinking of, I kind of just made it for myself. I'm not going to lie. And he was dropping off the Drive 5 hat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guys, Joey Shaker, Philly 500. He was dropping that hat, and I wanted to get a couple made for the draft. So I went ahead and made these. You want Philly? If you guys like them, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm ready for this, man. What's going on, Lit City? What's going on? Congratulations, Joe. I appreciate you. Unspoken, I appreciate you. Safe travels. Thank you. We have the next official GOAT. Number one, Fly Eagles Fly. Jalen is him. Hurts City. Yeah, Jalen is that dude, bro. It's been fun to watch him prove a lot of us wrong, right? Me especially. I definitely was a little trepidatious. I had a little trepidation of if he was going to be our QB1 for the future, but he has proven me wrong. It's been a fun ride. It really has. And it makes you love him even more, because it's like I never outright just hated him. He was an amazing leader. Always loved hit the field stuff, and I knew that he was an amazing runner, but there were definitely question marks as far as him as a thrower. Now, still, areas where he needs to improve, but I mean, it's hard to bet against that guy. It really is. He works so hard, and it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see. What's going on? Brian says yeah, I read that. Eric says Bijan on NFL Live, man's is big. Man, yeah. That's the thing. People, I think people are looking at the comparisons that Bijan's getting, and some of them are a little bit outlandish. I'm going to be 100% honest. Some of these that you hear are a little bit outlandish. People have said like Barry Sanders. I've been one to make an argument that I think he's like along the lines of a talent like a Saquon Barkley, and that's why I think he can go high. But I mean, don't look at the comparisons. Look at him. He's just a great player. I mean, he really is. He's one of, if not, I think he's a top 3, if not one of the better. I'm trying to think because Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, they play a more important position. But if you look at the production that Bijan Robinson has had and just the traits that Bijan Robinson has, I can make an argument he's a better player, a better prospect than both of them. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. It is definitely. He said that hat's fire. I appreciate you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We might actually start selling these. You should be psyched. Get autograph memorabilia. Yeah. Either way, that's why I was happy to get the draft 5 hat. No matter where he goes, I'm trying to get Bijan Robinson's autograph on that hat because I know that'll be worth something in like 10 years, maybe 5, 6, depending on how the NFL treats him. What's going on, Dank Burrito? Jalen shows that he will get better. He's not gonna be satisfied. I agree. 100%. I mean, we got something special at that position. It's rare that you have a guy so humble. I mean, you look at the contract negotiation, you look at the contract situation that we're in now because of him. I mean, it's just beautiful for him to understand how not only the NFL works and him getting his money, but understanding he wants to win. The quote everybody's running with now is money's nice, but championships are better. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing to hear from your quarterback that obviously it can demand whatever really contract he wanted to at this point. So it's hype. I'm hype about the team. Jansen says, I think we are taking Sko or Paris with 10. Honestly, although we are elite, we are really thin in O-line, 0 quality backups. Kelsey on a yearly deal, not going to be here forever. Think we take in Sko. I wouldn't be surprised. Realistically, I've said that before. I think offensive line, there's a lot of different places that I think the Eagles can go. I don't think there's really a wrong answer at this point. There's a lot of good players that are going to be at that number 10 spot. I think that offensive line is an area that people aren't giving it its credence. Like, I mean, you can wait a little while, get a guy like Matt Bergeron, Curtis McClendon. People have been talking about him. I'm trying to think of who else maybe in the middle rounds. Maybe you take a chance on Voorhees. There's a couple guys, maybe you take a DeJuan Jones in the second round, but you definitely need Cody Mauch in the second or third round. You definitely need some depth there, so I agree. I think that it's a important position in this draft. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do at 10 at this point. I don't think anybody does, right? And I think that you see that with all the comparisons, or not the comparisons, but all the mocks, all the breaking news. This person connected to us, that person connected to us. So it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting at 10. Hurts. What's going on, D. Aldridge? Dank says, shout out to Nicole Lynn. She's getting her own TV show. That's dope. She has a book I want to read. I want to read her book. So we're drafting top 10 to take a backup. I mean, but you can't look at it like that because realistically, who do we have? And even if you say, all right, I'm going to take a Skoronski and he's going to start at guard. I mean, Cam Jurgens, it sucks. You know what I mean? It really does suck, but he's ready. He's ready to go whenever Jason Kelsey has to bounce. I mean, it is a move for the future in essence, but at the same time, we don't have that offensive line depth that we're used to having. So I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibilities. I'll say that much. I like Asim Richards. I like him too, man. He's a real humble kid. I talked to him at Combine, obviously from Philly, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's the man. He was a really nice dude, man. Lucas Van Ness at 10 reach. Yeah, I don't think that we're as high on Lucas Van Ness as people are saying, because if we were that high on Lucas Van Ness, why wouldn't we be high on a George Karlaftis last year? Like I bought the bait ladder with a Karlaftis because even production wise, even if you watch the tape, I mean, Karlaftis, I think, was a better prospect than a Lucas Van Ness is. Now, it's a different draft and it's a little bit thinner, I think, at the defensive line position, especially the edge. But I mean, I think Lucas Van Ness and I think Nolan Smith. I know Nolan Smith is a guy high on a lot of people's boards. I'm not really that high on him right now. I really don't even have him in my top 15. I could be 100% wrong about that. You know what I'm saying? Because on the other end, I have Kalijah Cansey in my top 15. So I could be 100% wrong. But I don't know. Nolan Smith just doesn't do it for me. Again, I could be $1 million, 1,000,000% wrong. But we'll see. What's going on, Rock? What's going on, brother? Picks Hurts as the best quarterback. That's what he said. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I want defense at 10. If no defense is there, get Bijan. Bijan wants to play for us. Bijan wants to play for anybody, especially if they in the top 10. I mean, I don't think he would complain wherever he went. But no, I mean, look, Bijan at 10, I'm not mad at it. The thing with Bijan, the only thing with Bijan, and even a Jahmyr Gibbs, if you're looking at him in the first round, is there's so much talent, in my opinion, in this running back class. There's a lot of good running backs. So, I mean, yes, you're not going to get the top tier, top end guy that, a Bijan or a Jahmyr Gibbs is, but there's a lot of guys that definitely help this offense, you know what I'm saying, in many different ways, so I don't know. I'm high on him as a talent, like he is a great talent, but I'm not sitting here saying it has to be Bijan. I wouldn't be surprised if they went a wide receiver, or if they traded down a little bit and took the first tight end off the board. Like, there's a lot of things the Eagles can do this year, and none of them would be out like a just outlandish. Obviously, there's Marcus Smith type picks in this draft. Right? If you take a Keanu Benton at 10, I'm gonna be a little bit like, all right, I like him. Or Adebawore, like, I like the kid, but it's like at 10, like, I don't know. So I mean, there's definitely some picks that you're like, why did you do that? But for the most part, I'm confident in that we have good options. I understand he can develop. He's got a good work ethic, but that's about it. Are you talking about Lucas Van Ness? Oh, you're talking about Nolan Smith? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nolan Smith just didn't do it for me. I think that he's a good player, but a top 10, I don't know. I don't know if he's top 10. That's really where I'm at right now. We'll see what happens, but I just don't know if he's top 10. Realistically, if Eagles want Jalen Carter with Cardinals pick and Buddha, how many picks do you think it would cost the Eagles to get that done? So we would have to go up to number 3. I've said this before. I would probably give you either both of my first round picks this year and you give me the third, and Buddha, and we give you like a fourth round next year. I'll give you the 10 and the 30. You give me 30 and Buddha, and I'll also throw in a fourth next year. I think that that's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, maybe that's a steal. Maybe we have to throw in another mid round pick somewhere in there, but I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. If you love Jalen Carter that much and a Buddha Baker, I mean, it goes unsaid. Like, he seems like a guy that wants to be in Philly, and not just that, he's one of the better players at his position. So I would do that in a heartbeat. Like I said, if you have to throw in even a next year third, I would do that. I would do like a next year third and a next year fifth with the 10 and 30 this year to get Buddha Baker and the number 3 pick. I think that honestly jumps the heck out of this team for now and the future. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 33 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. And at the top, you'll see a QR code. Obviously, I do have the draft GoFundMe open. So if you guys want to help out in any way, I will literally be leaving after this live call in to do that. So I'm so excited. I really am so excited. And it is a call in. It is. So if you guys want to join the call in, the link is at the top of the description of the chat, excuse me. Join on in. Join on in. We'll have some fun, man. We'll definitely have some. I messed up. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get right back to the comments. My fault, y'all. All right, just had to make sure that was all set up right. All right, my bad, y'all. My bad. Outside of Bijan and Gibbs, there are no running backs in this draft that are much better than what we have already. I disagree with that, Black Line. I disagree with that. I think that I, if we're gonna go, I like Evans from Ole Miss. I like Tank Bigsby. I think that he offers something. I like Zach Charbonnet. I like um, Muhammad Ibrahim. You can get him probably in the 6th, 7th round. Who else do I like? There's a good amount of guys. Tyjae Spears, Devin Chain. I like both of them. A little small, but I like them. I think there's a lot of running backs in this draft class that can provide more on a consistent basis, at least. Obviously, you can't predict injuries, but when you look at the history, at least of a Rashad Penny, I think Rashad Penny is right now your best. I mean, it's between him and Kenny, but I don't know if that's saying much. I think that you can get a better guy than both of them, and that's no offense to either of them. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it really comes down to how confident are the Eagles, and you do have 4 guys that realistically should make the roster, right? And so what do they do? What do they do at that position? It's going to be very, very interesting. Dwayne McBride is another one. Deuce Vaughn is definitely another one. There's definitely some guys, man. There's some guys in this draft I like. There really is. Bradenton in the house. Are you from Florida? You from Bradenton, Florida, or Kansas or something? I don't know. I know there's a Bradenton in Florida. But what's going on, Sean? What's going on? Okay, Castro got the fresh cut for the live. I see you, my guy. I got it. I got it for the draft. You know what I'm saying? I got it for the draft. But yeah, he did kill it. Shout out to my barber, bro. Shout out to my barber because he, you know what I'm saying? I was looking crazy for like a month. I was looking crazy for like a month. When I went in there, he was like, bro, you cheating on me? What's going on? And I was like, nah, man. Nah, man. I've been woofing. Woofing. What's going on, Tyler? What's going on? There's guys I like, but I am in on drafting Bijan. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If that happens, that happens. I'm not gonna be mad at all. Yeah, he definitely did some work. He definitely did some work. So, all right, we're gonna switch on over to the Jan portion of things. If you guys want to join the show, I will be on Jan now from here on out. So definitely, if you guys got any questions, hit the link at the top of the chat. Excuse me, and you can join the show, man. We got somebody in here already. Philly Irish Drew.
Yo, what's up?
What up? What up? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you good. Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir. What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Chilling. I'll be honest with you. Eagles are in an awesome position in the draft. They can do a lot of things with the 10th pick and the 30th pick. They can move up, move down. I think the best thing is maybe stay at number 10, maybe trade down a little bit because I don't think Robinson's going to go in the top 10. I think he's slightly going to miss the top 10. But I can see them moving up to get Jalen Carter, but I do question his character a little bit. A little off the field issues,
Yeah.
but I think we can address the D line with the 30th pick on the 2nd round.
Yeah, I think that this year, and what's going on, Tyler? I see you in the building.
What up, Joe?
I think this year is interesting because people are forgetting, and you know, this is not to like knock or hate on anybody in this draft, but this is not a strong class. Like the going into this draft year, a lot of people knew that there were some good players. Don't get me wrong, but this is one of those that you're kind of building foundational work. Like you're not going to get a guy that's necessarily a generational talent at the 10, at 11. You might get lucky with a guy like Bijan or somebody drops because of their, you know, off-field issues. But I think that the Eagles are in a good position to just be patient and see how the board falls. Because if Bijan is there at 10, if you do trade back, you're probably trading back to somebody that either wants him or somebody else that you like. So it's going to be very interesting. I don't think Bijan goes top 10, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like I really would not be surprised. But we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of good players in this draft, just not a lot of great players, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's not necessarily like a terrible draft, but you know, you're taking a lot of
Yeah,
projects.
I agree, Joe. I
Yeah,
don't think it's like a huge, like, talented draft class, but I think it's a deep draft class. Like, if I pair it up to like next year's is going to be like super uber like top heavy talented, but I don't know about the depth though.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I mean, that's what
And
you have to see.
and here's another thing: if you're drafting them in the top 10, you're most likely going to try to re-sign them after that contract's up.
That's the thing too. Yeah, what like because if I'm not mistaken, you're on the cap for like $6 million as a rookie at the 10th spot. I could be wrong about that, but like
No,
It's
you get
five
yeah, you're
million.
getting around like 10 mil.
yeah. So I mean, would you rather just pay a veteran that money? Like that's really what it comes down to. It's like there's so many different options the Eagles can do. I'm all about taking Bijan. I really don't mind it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm driving the bandwagon for him. I think everybody knows who I want, but I'm all for it. I think he's a great player. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Yoda Black, the link is gonna be at the top of the chat. It's a pinned chat.
Okay. I think
I just
they do.
I have the John app.
Yeah, man, this JJAANN app is dope, and they just gave I think they gave an Amazon gift card to we did for Best of Enemies, we did like the best mock drafts or whatever, and they just did a Amazon gift card to a Cowboys fan and an Eagles fan for their mock. So shout out to JJAANN, they
Oh,
killing it.
nice.
Yeah, they
But
killing it.
here's another thing. Here's another thing they can do with that 10th pick, and it's not going to be a popular one, because I'm like, how about you draft one? You draft one of the top corners in the draft with that pick, like Witherspoon, maybe Gonzalez if he falls. Move him to the slot and move Maddox to safety, back to safety, because he did have success as a safety, Maddox. And then you'd be able to groom that guy for the next couple of years that you have Slay and Bradbury, and then he'll be your number one.
If we're moving a corner to the slot, I'd much rather get Witherspoon over Gonzalez. Gonzalez, I feel like he's like an only like outside guy, just because he's just so big.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on, Stu? I see you. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Good. What's going on? Man, if that's the
What's up,
case,
Stu?
why don't we just draft Brian Branch, who can play the slot and play safety? So that way,
I
if
mean,
you're moving Maddox to safety, you can just put
I
Branch
had no
right there.
issue with that. I had no issue with that. I love Brian Branch,
Yeah,
but
No issue with
I'm
that
just
at
saying
all.
Witherspoon, because Witherspoon's my favorite corner in the draft. So
yeah. I mean, what do you want to fix for the future? I guess that's the question you have to ask if you're the Eagles, because outside of like a D tackle or a running back, I don't think anybody you really draft is gonna start right away. Like who? Because I mean, realistically, is there anybody? Maybe safety too. I mean, a Brian Branch is a guy that you could definitely see starting, but
on the defensive end or
just in general.
or just in
I mean,
general?
maybe a wide receiver 3, but are you picking that at 10? That's still kind of
I could see Paris Johnson.
possibly a Paris Johnson, and
If
that's even a
Cam
question
Jurgens
there
doesn't
because
really like develop.
But it'd be no point in drafting Paris Johnson, because then he's just going to be sitting for a few years too.
No,
You
no,
don't
like
waste a
if
high
Cam,
draft. He's going to be sitting. No, he's going to be sitting for a while, because Paris Johnson basically is mainly going to play right tackle. That's
not
where he's
No,
basically.
necessarily, not
Stu,
necessarily.
listen
He
to
played
me,
right guard.
listen to me. All right, so Paris has played right guard for like a whole year.
Yeah, he
Like, so
played all right.
he knows knowledge about the right guard, but it's just whether he's gonna sit or not if Cam doesn't develop into a right guard.
Yeah,
It all depends on
This
Cam
is
Jurgens'
this is
development and
Stoutland
who wins the.
University. What you're not understanding is this
I
is
believe in
Stoutland
Cam
University.
Jurgens.
Look at
I'm
who,
just saying
but also
there's that
look at
if.
who.
I'm just saying.
You're not only. It's not only just who the coach is. It's look at the two guys Cam Jurgens will be playing in between. You're playing
Oh
in
no,
between
I am
two
not a
All-Pro,
stickler for guard at 10.
five Hall of Fame
I'm not.
guys.
I hate the thought of getting a guard at 10. I hate that fact.
no,
Yeah,
I
you're not
agree.
going
I'm
off
just saying.
the
I'm just
line.
saying I'm just saying. If you get Paris Johnson, he might become one of the like day-one starters. That's what I'm just saying. But
He might.
I have
It's
no
like this.
backing to that. I do not want that to happen.
This is what you're getting at 10. You're out getting Bijan, that wide receiver from Ohio State, a corner, or a defensive lineman.
I think
That's
at
what
10,
you're getting.
I think at 10, I think I do think we're gonna take defensive linemen. I don't really think that there's gonna be much, especially
Like
with
everybody looked at me like a month ago when I said grabbing Nolan Smith at 10. They said that would be a reach.
I think
Not
Pierce,
really.
I don't think Nolan Smith is
I
a
think
top
if
10 dude.
we
I
don't
really
take
don't.
Nolan
That is a
Smith,
reach.
I think he might fall a bit. I think there's a
No,
possibility he can fall.
this is what I'm saying. Y'all looking at him as just an edge rusher. This guy is just as effective in the run stopping just as he is the pass rusher off the edge.
Oh no, I love
That's
Nolan
what
Smith,
y'all
but
not. Like
the
Nolan Smith,
NFL
you
teams.
got to think about it. Nolan Smith is like having another Hassan Reddick.
But is that what
No,
we
his literal
need? That's the
comp is
thing. Is
Hassan
that what
Reddick.
we need?
His
I
literal
think we
comp,
need a
his literal
interior
comp
guy.
is Hassan Reddick.
I like
Let's
here's
not
the
Nolan
forget
thing.
Smith,
it
but
took
not at
Hassan
10.
Reddick 3 years to get double-digit sacks, though.
And I mean, well, Hassan
I
Reddick
agree.
wasn't
As
used
far as the
properly.
interior, I was looking at Adam Buke as that interior guy. I'm not gonna lie.
But I did say this.
Tommy.
If I do say this, if they trade the 10th pick, it's gonna have to be a player involved in that deal to have for them to trade that 10th pick.
I don't know
And I think that
necessarily. If you look at Green Bay, look at Green Bay. That's probably my favorite trade position. If we can get back to Green Bay, I would be happy. Green Bay is gonna be trash. Like I'll go to number 13. Give me your first next year and like some random mid-round pick, and then we cool.
They're not
I'm
gonna
still
give you
cool
their
with
first. They're
13.
not gonna give you their
You're not
first.
getting a
They're not getting that
first round
first
pick.
next year because
They
they
gonna
need
give it
all
to
the
us.
first round picks they can get to put
Going
stuff
back
around Jordan
13
Love.
I'll give you
going
my
back
third
3
next
spots.
year then for your first. The Packers are gonna be trash next year. I want their first round pick somehow. I don't. I want their first round pick somehow.
I'm not entirely sure they're gonna be trash,
I think they're gonna be trash, bro.
but
Who's their
they
quarterback?
ain't gonna be as good as they used to be with Aaron Rodgers. But I don't think they just gonna fall all the way off the map.
They're gonna be worse in the division, but I don't think they're gonna be like.
Now I don't think they're gonna be
bottom 5
worse
of
in
the
the
league.
division. I think unless Chicago build up that O line, because see that's why everybody keep thinking, oh, Chicago might take Jalen Carter right before us if he makes it that far. No, Chicago need to go O line.
Yeah,
Their quarterback been sacked 91 times
Because
in the last 2 years.
Green Bay's defense is still good, so
yeah, that's true. I
That's what
do
I'm
feel like
saying. They're
Rodgers
gonna
been their key.
they gonna need O linemen too.
Yeah. They don't need a wide receiver. They need a quarterback. That's what they need. That's what I'm saying. If there's a quarterback at number 10 that they like, and they know right behind us, Tennessee does not like Malik Willis no more, which is the rumor. I don't know how true that is. That's what people are saying. So if that's the case, and they're thinking, all right, Tennessee might go ahead and take this quarterback, you can get a first round pick out of the Green Bay Packers. Like it's about who's there. It's not necessarily just about the pick. It's about who's there. If they want to say, "Hey, we need a quarterback," all right, we'll give you our first next year because we want this guy.
But here's the thing, Castro. Here's the thing, Castro. What if Tampa calls you and offers you more?
You think about it. You ponder it. I don't want Tampa. I mean, Tampa might be trash too next year. So. Yeah, I mean, hey,
no, okay,
give me a first round pick. I just want a first round pick from a trash team next year.
As long as that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. With Tampa, you know for a fact you trade back that far.
Yeah,
you know for a fact you get in the first round of next year.
Yeah.
Okay, no, if you're trading with Tampa, I think you're definitely getting your first rounder. Green Bay, there's no chance that they're getting a first.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say there's no chance. If there's a quarterback there, there ain't no
chance. They're not there. There's no chance you're gonna get it from Green Bay.
If that happens, I'm just saying right now, if that happens, I want y'all all to come on here and apologize for saying there was no chance. Because I'm telling you right now, it's a possibility.
No, Joe.
Here's the thing. I can see Green Bay trying to trade up for somebody to build with one defense because their one defense for the last 3 or 4 years has been horrible.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad.
And
that's bad.
Green Bay need wide receivers, bro. They not trading up for no running back. They need They need weapons.
No, they will trade up for somebody on to help with their run defense. Drew is right about that one.
There's nobody at 10. There's nobody at 10 that we wouldn't take in order to trade down. We need a defensive interior too. Who they trading up for?
That's true.
They can trade up for a couple people. They're gonna take risks in this draft because they gotta improve that one defense. They giving up almost.
Yeah, they just and you gotta think that, and they just got some extra draft capital. Those two second round picks from the Jets.
I can see them waiting out for Brissett or a Kalijah Kancey, even though that doesn't really help your run defense. But maybe a Brissett. I can see them waiting for a Brissett. That would be a good pick for them at 13. Or maybe
it would. That's what I'm saying. They might take a risk because they need help in their run defense, and they need O-line help to make sure that Jordan Love stay up on his feet.
I could see them also moving up to draft a receiver also.
Yeah, they're gonna need another one of them. Lazard gone.
Well, I can see us taking one.
I mean, they could sit at 13 and take JSN. They don't got to move up for that.
Yeah, I don't even know what if we took a wide receiver. I don't even know how it'd feel, to be 100%. Depending on who's there at the board, like I wouldn't be mad, I guess, but I would just be like, bro, I don't really feel comfortable with this defense right now. I mean, maybe I'm alone in that thought. Like I think that we're decent. We have enough pieces to be decent, but are we? I don't know. You know how much.
There's two
confidence
teams.
I have.
There's two teams you gotta watch out for to trade with. Y'all gonna trade with Tampa, or you gonna trade with Arizona? Because Tampa's probably gonna trade White to you, and Bubba and Miller might be on. The Arizona safety is rumored to come here too, so you might can trade the 30th pick and get some draft capital and him back in return for it, and you can get White from Tampa Bay to improve the linebacking core a little bit. Because right now you got N'Kobe Dean and you got Sean Bradley there as your two linebackers. And that's a young linebacker core.
And guy we just picked up from Chicago,
Nicholas Morrow.
Yeah,
Respect him.
There's a lot of question marks on this defense, and that's why I'm saying I don't know.
But hey, here's a way to jog everybody's thought process for Thursday. What if, say, the Houston Texans decide that they actually really are going to move forward with their quarterback? What if they draft JSN at number 2?
Is that mine or yours?
You talking about JSN at number 2?
What if they do?
That's not.
There's no way. That's not happening. There's zero chance of happening.
Everybody's saying it's not happening. I'm not saying it's happening. I'm just saying everybody right now think to themselves, what if it actually does? Then how do y'all think that throws the draft?
You said who?
JSN. JSN to Houston at 2.
I can't even put that in like the ramp of possibility.
I was thinking about trading that pick because I was looking at ESPN. The bust rates of these quarterbacks is pretty high a little bit. If you look at it.
I mean, think about it. They did just get, like, Anderson is gone. They just traded Cooks to Dallas. They ain't got no receivers.
Yeah, but you're not drafting a route runner, a slot route runner at number 2. There's nothing physically special about
JSN. We were. I never said we were.
I'm talking about anybody in the NFL. Nobody in the NFL is drafting JSN at 2. If they didn't draft Jamar Chase at 2, they're not drafting JSN at 2. Nobody is drafting JSN at number 2.
Bro, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's realistically going to happen. I'm just saying. Think about
we supposed to the draft to have unrealistic conversations.
I'm just saying. How do you think if that does happen?
Y'all hear me?
How do y'all think personally that would throw the
Can you hear me, Joe?
I can hear you.
Y'all hear me? You hear me?
Yeah. We got you. We got you, man.
I'll say this: if Will Anderson drops out of number 2, if Will Anderson isn't at number 2, if he's not the pick at number 2 or whatever, I would probably do everything I can to move on up. Because if JSN goes at number 2 or anybody that we're not expecting, that means that there's probably going to be a nice little dip with some of these defensive linemen. I would do everything I can to get at number 3, number 5, see what the value is there, number 7, number 8, because there's somebody's going to fall. That's the only thing that would affect.
I think the Texans are actually going to trade that pick. I think they're going to try to get.
I believe they're going to trade with the Raiders. That's number 7. I think that's where he's going to fall in at for Carter.
Because I look at it like this.
That sounds logical.
The Texans were smart. The Texans were smart, they wait another year to draft a quarterback, and they draft an offensive lineman. Started because the two things you need to improve.
I've been saying that for a while now about the Carter trade up.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an O line.
2 or 3 weeks now.
It won't be an O line.
Yeah, it wouldn't be O line. I can see Will Anderson and Jalen Carter.
No, because
but not O line.
Texans won't get O line because.
Texans need as many picks as they can get, man. They need to try to get as good as they can. They need a lot of draft capital, and D'Amico Ryans, I guarantee you, he got at least 3 years before he gonna get really counted at.
It will make sense to trade the pick and get draft capital and get multiple first-round picks.
Yeah,
I'm saying
buys you more time with the team.
You're gonna have to. You're not gonna be good
I
for at
believe
least 4
the
years.
Texans are going to trade out of the second pick, and the Cardinals going to trade out of the third pick, because both of those teams need players bad.
And both of them got brand new first year head coaches that need to really truly evaluate this team. So they don't know what they have at quarterback. They don't know
Texans
what
don't
they
got to
have.
do much evaluating.
Right.
The
Hey,
Texans, you
look.
just bad. You just not good.
Like,
Right.
true,
And he
true.
wants to bring in his own people.
Yeah,
If I'm the
so you
Texans,
I
gotta.
think of it
if
the
I'm the
other way
Texans,
though. I think of it the other way.
yeah.
If you a brand new
Now
coach,
them
I
guys,
want
and them
my
guys don't
guy
even
at
want to be up
quarterback.
there with Gannon. You see,
Well,
But
it depends though.
both
If you
of those
have your
coaches.
guy, and hold on, let's all take turns because
exactly.
we all talk over too much.
I don't
So
have the quarterback being there long. If he can find a way to get rid of him in the next season or two, he's going to be out of there.
Yeah, and like I said, both of those teams, both of their head coaches now are both first year head coaches, and both of them are defensive guys. Jonathan
yeah,
Gannon and
I think
D'Amico
Will
Ryan.
Anderson goes. I think Will Anderson goes number 2. That's my opinion. But what's going on, Drew? What you think, Drew?
Here's the main
Exactly.
issue.
You said that right.
Here's the main issue.
Yep.
You're not gonna be
Yep.
able. You're not gonna be able to get rid of Kyle Murray's contract.
That would be the likely thing for them to do. That would be the smart thing for them to do.
They will, but he makes too much money. Nobody's gonna trade for that contract. And like
Nope.
he
That's the thing.
stagnated, he's not getting better. He's getting worse. And he doesn't have that mentality to want to get better. Stay
Yeah.
in the
I
film
can
movement.
agree with that. Yep. Yep.
Who wants to trade for that? I don't want to trade for
Yep.
that. He's an undersized quarterback too, by the way. So
That's
I mean,
like
look at
trading.
the
That's just
Cardinals,
trading.
I
right?
agree
That's
with
like trading
I
for a
agree with
small,
that. Yep.
faster version of Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but look at the Cardinals though with their last
I
couple of
wouldn't say
quarterbacks because they
You got a good
draft
point
Josh
there.
Rosen. They draft Josh Rosen, and then
You got a
the
good
next
point
year
there,
they
Drew.
draft another guy. So they've shown that they're willing to move on from a quarterback if it doesn't work. So I mean, they could surprise everybody.
Yeah,
I
but they
think
moved
that's
on
one
from
of the
Josh
wild
Rosen.
cards.
Josh Rosen was still on his rookie contract. They paid
Yeah, but
Kyler
they
Murray.
traded him quick.
he's
They
They
traded him
paid
quick.
Kyler Murray.
so you stuck.
Yeah,
with
but he paid Carson Wentz. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
dead
he
money
was.
is becoming less and less of a
Yeah, they
problem.
was.
Like
He was.
if you want to win, you
Yeah.
gotta do what you gotta
They
do.
sure did.
Yeah, but it had been at least a year
That
or
was a
so
mistake.
since Carson Wentz got signed that contract before we got rid of him. I believe
Well,
Not
we
to
gave him
mention
a year or two
Carson.
before we
Not to
got rid of him.
mention we would have kept Carson if Carson wanted to stay. It wasn't like we just
That's
got
true
rid
That's
of
a
too.
good issue.
Carson.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz wanted to go.
That was a
here's the
mistake.
thing.
Facts.
If you
Facts.
if you're comparing the Carson Wentz situation with Kyle Murray's situation, I'll be honest with you.
I don't know.
If
I
you
don't know
I
about
can't
that.
compare that. I can't compare
You
that
think so?
because at least Carson Wentz, you couldn't say he didn't study film. You
no,
couldn't.
he had more
They
of an
couldn't
upside.
say he wasn't in there studying film and stuff like that.
That's how I was
You
gonna
ain't
say.
had to put no film, no clause in his contract for nothing like that.
That's what I was
That's
gonna say.
different with Kyler Murray.
He has more of an
Right,
upside.
right, 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 right.
A lot. He has more of an
Yeah,
upside. And
to
the
make him
Eagles were
study.
able.
Who does that?
And the
That was
Eagles were able.
disrespectful. That was totally disrespectful.
I'm
That
sorry,
really
but
look for
he's
me.
not
The
a
reason why
player.
I lost a lot of respect for Kyler Murray when I heard about that is because not just as a quarterback of a franchise, but you would get this. Smitty, you would get this too.
Yeah.
Look at everything that black quarterbacks went through just to be able to be starters and franchise quarterbacks
As
in the
a
league.
person.
And you have to have that put in your contract.
Right. You should already know.
That's just crazy. Come on, man.
I can't say no
Well, I
more,
mean,
brother.
Kyler Murray kind
What's
of put it
going
on his
on
own
though,
self.
man?
I
I
ain't
ain't got
gonna
to
lie.
say what
Kyler
You
Russ
Murray
said it
said.
right,
I ain't got
Stu.
to say what
Dude, that's heartbreaking.
Kyle Murray,
That really is, man. That hurt me, man.
yeah,
I'm 43 years
I
old.
know, right?
is only
I
4
remember watching Doug Williams win that Super Bowl. I've sat in our living room watching that. So to see how far we've come and to know that you as a black quarterback, they got to put that in your contract. You should never have to have that put in your contract.
Yeah. How
You
about
should
Here's
War
never
the thing.
Room?
feel that arrogant in your life. You should
Here's the
always win.
part is
That's
when
why
you
I'm
have
glad we got the quarterback we got.
But here's the worst thing about it: when you have DeAndre Hopkins,
I can go back further than that.
AJ
Joe
Green,
Gilliam, Warren Moon.
Hold on, guys. All right,
Yes,
guys. Let's not
sir.
talk over each other. When we hear somebody talk, let's at least respect when somebody's talking. Let them talk, and then they do the same for you. So let's all
Can I just say hello?
try to not talk over each other. You know what I mean? So we can all get our points out.
Can I say what's up to my Philly family,
You right.
man? I was late.
What
man.
up, Smitty? What up, Smitty?
Y'all was live, man.
I didn't even know you was in here, Smitty. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even hear you.
Who wants to speak?
Is it cool if I speak real quick?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead,
just
Drew.
saying, like, if you hear somebody talking, just let them
How you doing,
finish,
Smitty?
and then I'm saying we wrap.
Here's my
That's
issue:
good, bro.
you
man.
have
You know,
DeAndre Hopkins
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and AJ Green as your receiving core. You should at least have some success as a passer. He made a lot of mistakes. He's only feared for his legs. He's not feared for his passing and his decision making. He's a horrible decision maker.
Yeah.
And that's another thing we have to worry about when you train for Kyle Murray. He was given the weapons and he still was not productive.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fact.
gonna disagree with that on Kyler Murray. I think the offense is really what hindered him, man. That Cliff Kingsbury offense.
Right.
Y'all pay attention, man. That offense is another Chip Kelly offense, bro. It's not good for.
I mean, sure, it worked for him in college.
That's true. And you're right. It is like another Chip Kelly offense, but at the same time, if you have to have in your contract a clause
But you gotta
about film
study.
study,
No, I ain't talking about that. I was talking about him not being able to execute.
yeah,
I think it's more so on him.
if you studying film enough, and you should be able to execute properly in the offense.
Well, this is the coach he wanted. This is the guy he wanted to be
he
his head coach.
executes.
I mean, it's
But
on him. I think it's on Kyler. It's all on Kyler.
But Joe, wasn't
That's
Cliff Kelly's offense more of a passing offense, and Chip Kelly's more of a running type of offense? So
it was more of a quick. Yeah, it was what
Yeah,
the similarity I think is that they're
Chip
more
Kelly's
like
was
an air
more of an
raid.
option offense.
So, like, you could say it was like Chip Kelly's, but I think Chip Kelly was more like a zone read type of offense. I think Cliff Kelly was more.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, look, I think if you give Kyler Murray those one read or the two reads, he didn't have a lot of that last year. It was a lot of read the whole field. He might not be good at the whole field. He might need to break it down.
Yeah, but he had some boys, bro. He had Christian. Then he had Christian Kirk. He had DeAndre Hopkins.
When he had the weapons he had.
Wow.
You got to read
the whole squad, bro.
He got a lot of weapons, but he might not be able to coast the whole field. Like it's a lot of quarterbacks that can't see the whole field.
That's on him then. You don't pick a guy in the top 10 if you don't think he can at least eventually start seeing the full field. Like we got Jalen Hurts in the second round, and that was something we want to talk.
I agree with you.
So, I mean,
hey, we'll know a lot about what they feel about their quarterback if they get there and they draft one.
Hey, Stu,
Joe,
you play high school football. It's a lot of them coaches that's too friendly, too nice. They wasn't putting no foot on them.
Yeah, that's true.
For their job, then you know what I'm saying, making him do his job. They're like, hey, all right, come on.
Right. Yeah. You got that right.
I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah.
You're here on Jonathan Gaines is going to be one and done in Arizona.
I have no faith in him.
It's to change so much now with the coaching. It's to change.
If that defense plays okay in that first year, and they just barely go under 500,
You can't so much with the coaching nowadays because you can't do but.
What you were saying? Can you?
So much. You can't do so much no more with coaching. I mean, they don't have enough time to get these guys in shape no more. That's why I believe it's a lot of injuries that happen during the course of the season. These guys can't practice enough.
Yeah, that old school practicing. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of these players, these newer players, don't understand with these new collective bargaining agreements that they made, where they cut down the practice time in the off season and those 2-a-days and stuff like that. That slows the development and the process of how quickly they can develop. It takes it away. So instead of guys that first round picks those that back in the day that used to come in and they was immediate impacts just like that.
Yeah,
It ain't happening no
exactly.
more. That's got to wait 2 or 3 years now to get that impact in the first game of the season. Why? Because in the early back in the day, you was on the field 2-3 times a day out there practicing in the heat. So they got it in you. So that way, come first game of the season, oh, it's a wrap. You on point.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that the
yeah,
off the field development
Yep, yep.
especially helps. And it's gonna be interesting to see what Nakobe Dean is this year because he didn't get
You on
much
point. You
snaps.
said that right. You said that right.
So I'm excited about this year, man. I think a lot of these young dudes is gonna be interesting to watch, man. They really are. They
I got
really
into
are.
an argument about Kobe gonna be good. I told him you don't even know what the man can put on the field yet.
I believe Dean's going to step
Yeah,
up.
that's
I
the thing.
believe
We don't
Dean's
know
going to
yet.
step up and do what he's supposed to do
yeah.
because of the fact that he played enough. He played enough on special teams, and then when he did get in the game to play, he made tackles. He was around the ball a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fact.
He played that like one
And
game. He played
I
like
don't
the
know if
end of
y'all
one
know this,
game
but
and went
it's
crazy. Didn't
politics
he
when you
like
put your money out there. You know what I'm
Wasn't
saying?
that the Tennessee game?
That's what I'm not.
That's true.
yeah, he ended
The
up
only
like
thing that held
leading the
Dean back
team in tackles
was
and it was
Edwards.
crazy.
Edwards held Dean back by his play.
Well,
Not even by his play, but
Kylie.
by his experience and his time on the roster. That's really the only reason. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if they had about the same amount of time on the roster and learning that defense, he had an extra year in the defense that Dean didn't have. If they had the
Yeah,
same amount of time in that defense, I guarantee you Dean would have probably outplayed him and took that spot.
Here's another thing. Edwards is more of a one-stopping linebacker than a pass coverage type of linebacker or around type. So that could be effective too because
yeah,
he.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and Kobe Dean's more of a see ball, get ball.
Yeah, so
He don't care if it's run or pass.
I'm not concerned about the defense. I still think that we still finish with at least 12 wins. I
Yeah,
think you need to
Yeah.
address the wide receiver
yeah,
3
yeah.
and everything. I think you need a better
I
route
don't
runner.
think we lost as much defensive.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I
so
don't
either.
think we lost as much. We don't. I don't
I
think we
think there's
lost
a
as
lot
much
of
on the
unknown.
defensive side as a lot of people think we did.
I think there's a lot of unknown defensively. That's my only concern. We don't know what
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns.
necessarily going to be.
I think Blankenship is more of a physical type of safety, and his play showed it, and he actually made plays even more in year 2.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
actually, you know what? There was a couple interceptions that dropped right into his hands that he could have had. That we like. I watched one of the what was it? I believe it was the Giants game. It just popped right in his hands. He could have had it. There was a couple of times he had interceptions right in his hand. I think if you put him back there, because you got to think, look at his first play on the field. Play on the field, undrafted rookie free agent. You pick off Aaron Rodgers.
And he's read him. He read him too.
Yeah, he did.
Good read.
Yeah, he read it perfectly.
Yeah, read him in perfect coverage and set him up for it. And just jump right out there in front of him and say, "Ooh, got you."
He likes to hit. He likes to come down and thump you.
He's a physical guy.
NFC Championship game, last defensive play
He,
on that fourth down. Hit Debo behind the line, caused the fumble and recover it. If he would have got his hands on it good enough, quick enough, he could have picked it up and took it back.
Mhm.
I would have liked to see that,
That
boy.
1 minute back. I just want
So
that
I
1
have
minute
I have
back.
an
That's all I
off-topic
want.
question.
What up?
I have an
He
off-topic question.
remind me of a
yeah,
John
because,
Lynch type.
Hold
right,
on,
you're
hey
right.
Tyler,
You're right,
Tyler
Stu.
trying to say something.
I have an off-topic question. What's the least
Go ahead.
least valuable draft position in the draft ever? Like just in general, what's the least valuable
Go ahead, Tyler.
position to draft?
Kicker. Yeah, kicker or punter, I guess. I would
Can you not
assume. I
hear
mean,
me?
there's been kickers taken in the first
Yeah, we hear
round
you,
before
Tyler.
that,
We hear you.
Like
Can you
I've
hear
seen
me?
people.
I'm trying to think. For
Kicker and
me,
punter. Yeah.
For me, it's
for
linebacker.
me, I'm gonna say
Now I got something I'd like to say.
free safety.
Mm-mm.
I would say kicker or
For the,
punter. I think that's the easiest way
is
to
it?
say.
Are you talking about for the
Long
Eagles
snapper,
or in
long
general,
snapper.
In
overall? What are you
general,
saying? Just for the Eagles or for overall?
I think long snapper for me.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
No, that's crazy.
John Doran
Nah,
Bruce
because
Stephen, baby.
if that long snapper flicked the ball over the kicker's head some darn where.
We'll say in the first round. What's the least
You
valuable
tough though,
position to
long
draft in the
snapper.
first
You
round?
gotta you.
Oh, he
You
Probably a
got
got
to
first.
talk.
linebacker,
It's a
off
Very
problem.
ball
limited to
linebacker.
in the
first
first
round.
It's a
round.
problem.
Probably off ball linebacker. I mean the Raiders
Linebacker.
have taken a
Let
bunch
me.
of kickers in the
Can I
first
can I
round,
say
but
something, fella?
Yeah.
Can, can,
Go ahead, yeah.
can I say something?
yeah.
I want
Go
to throw
ahead.
something out there too.
Go ahead, go for it.
Can I say something? I'm gonna throw a topic out there for us.
Go for it.
Regarding the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, I believe we need to worry about the the special teams. Our special teams is lacking in a lot of ways. So what do y'all think we need to do to build up our special team?
Fire the special teams coach.
Yeah,
that's one
I mean,
thing. But I think
he just got a raise. So that ain't gonna happen. What's going on, Midwest?
well,
What's going on, brother?
it does depend on the players you pick up.
But we still gonna have the players.
Yeah, people you draft are going to be special teamers if they're in like
You
third or
know, so
fourth.
what do y'all think about that?
I would start with a returner. I think that if you can get yourself a good returner, and you might be able to do it in the draft, like a Tank Dow, somebody like that, a Palmer, Trey Palmer's fast as hell. I would love to see him back there. I think
I
it
like.
starts there. I think you really need to get somebody that can do something in the return game. We saw the
That's what I
difference.
like. Tank Dell.
Yeah, we saw
I
the
love Tank
difference.
Dell.
We saw the difference when what's his name? Who was our kick returner?
Darren
Britton
Sproles.
Covey.
Tank Dell can get the
Darren
job
Sproles.
done.
But yeah, when you
Darren
saw
Sproles.
Britton Covey actually doing stuff in the back, as a return guy, you saw the difference in how it helped our offense and how it helped our team. So, I think you got to get somebody that's competent there. And then, I mean, obviously, punter, you can definitely look at some punters, but it just comes down to the players and the coaching staff. It really does. Like, it just got to be better. Michael Clay got to be better. You just got to raise. I need to see the performance raise as well.
Anybody else like Darius Davis from TCU as a punt returner or a kick returner?
I would not be mad at it at all.
Tubby seems to be a
Tajay
little
Spears.
scared back there to me. He seems like he's not sure of himself back there.
That's because
Oh,
he
you
getting
can
destroyed
crash test
every
dummy?
time.
Yeah.
Covey his nickname is Crash Test Dummy.
He really is. It's like 5 seconds. That boy's already laying down. It's like, bro, just get up. Just get up. Just get. That's all I
Like,
say every
bruh,
time he catches the ball. It's like,
he's
damn,
the
bro.
only person that I ever seen that small to get hit that hard over and
Consistent.
over and
Yeah.
over and get back up like it ain't nothing
Castro, you
happened.
said
Taking body shots from Tank back there, boy. If he get
I feel
dropped
bad for
back
him.
there, man, like I
He
commend
getting
him
hit
for going
he
after
getting
it,
Castro,
but
hit
you
like
said it
like
right.
he
The
fall like
kid from Tank Dell
he
from
fall like he
Houston,
got a straight
he would be a
jab from
perfect fit
Deontay
for
Wilder
a
to
punt
his chin.
returner,
Like,
a kick
damn.
returner.
Hey, come on, y'all. We gotta go one at a time, bro. One at a
He
time.
just be
Come on,
going
y'all.
all like you immediately see his feet leave the ground and him go sideways when he get hit. It's almost it's traumatizing to watch sometimes.
But Devontae Smith is small. I don't know how he he doesn't ever look like, except for that one catch that he got twisted around against Washington. He never looks like he's getting knocked the heck out. Like Britton Covey, whenever he gets hit, I literally pray for
No,
that
Joe.
man. Like
He be eating that
it's
Wawa.
he needs to do something, bro. Like that. I literally fear for his life every time we get a punt return because he gets cracked. What's going on, Dad?
But
What's
but
going on,
but
brother?
but but Smith
What's up, man?
got a little wiggle.
Smith, yeah, Smith always gets to the ground quick enough that it doesn't look like he's taking a
You don't
huge,
like Boston Scott back
step.
there?
I mean,
Boston
I
Scott.
wouldn't be mad, but I don't
He
think
took
that's
too long to answer.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not the
No,
best
I'm
option about
not
you.
opposed to that either.
I don't think it's the best option. Though.
no,
I would take Britton Covey right now
no,
over
no,
over
not
a
Boston
Boston
Scott.
Scott.
Man, that's all y'all
No.
feeling.
Boston Scott a little physical. He can run through some tackle. He kind of like he's the closest thing that I seen
But what are we
in
gonna do with
the
Allen?
return
What are we gonna do with
game
Allen?
to Sproles.
Devin Allen is signed to this team so he could just win championships
Hey,
and
you just
track.
want to say, Just
Yeah,
give her a
we ain't
check.
signed him to play for this team. He is just good PR at this point. Maybe he does
He just-
something. I mean, I just don't see it happening. I think if they were going to try and do anything, it would have been last year. Because
I'm gonna laugh.
especially
I'm
at this
gonna laugh if he beat
He
out
signed up
Quez.
for the right team then, because he gonna win some championships.
facts. If
I'm
he
gonna
beats out
laugh if he
Quez,
beat
I'll
out
be
Quez.
pissed. If he beats out Quez, I will be upset. I will say that right now.
We gonna
I
see
don't
him in the
care.
preseason. We're gonna see all of them.
I want to see what this dude from Atlanta does. I want to see what Oz got in him, man. I
I
know he
wouldn't be
returned
surprised
so
if he do
far.
beat out Quez.
Who Alameda?
yeah,
Alameda
from
Zacchaeus?
Atlanta.
OZ.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what he could do.
Shit, he used to go to St. Joe's Prep.
I would give him a fair
Yeah,
shot.
Zacchaeus.
I want to give him a
Yeah.
fair shot at that wide
I like
receiver
him
3
too.
spot, man.
He did well last year for Atlanta.
When
Yeah,
you
he
leave,
I think he
20
Castro,
might
points.
beat out Quez. I
Yeah,
think he might.
Zacchaeus with
That's why
St.
I
Joe.
immediately tweeted as soon as we signed him. I said Quez is wide receiver 4.
It's kind of disrespectful, but
Quez ain't no wide
whatever.
receiver 4, bro. That's people gonna be shocked when he goes out there and balls out this year, and I can't
Oh,
wait.
it might be out the
I
door.
can't wait. If he has a bad season, yeah, he probably will be. I ain't gonna sit here and lie.
he gonna drop another pass. It's gonna
Nah,
be
he ain't
a
gonna
I
drop
won't
no
be
more passes. He's
shocked.
gonna have the highest catch rate
I
in the
won't be shocked.
NFL this year. I'm throwing that out right now.
If he's
He's
just
gonna
better
have
at
over 600 yards. He's gonna have over
tracking.
600 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the highest catch percentage in the league.
I want to joint practice with the Lions.
Is
Who?
that what we're doing? A joint practice with the
Who?
Lions?
Joe? Joe, who you going
I
with?
want to
Quez?
expose. I want to
Yeah,
expose
Quez.
CJ. That why.
Quez?
Yeah, Quez. Quez is gonna ball out this year. I'm calling it.
He
Quez
need
Watkins.
to.
Quez Watkins gonna ball out this year. Kalijah Cansey, when he gets drafted by the Eagles, he gonna ball out this year. I'm calling it now. I'm putting my money on my stakes
Hope
right
you're
now.
right.
Hey,
He
I
not
hope I
letting
am
go.
too.
You trying to speak? You speaking it into existence, boy.
I got to. I have to. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hold on to it, man, because
Hey,
Kalijah
what
Cansey.
do y'all think about the wild?
What yet?
What do you think about the wide
I think
receivers
he's
from
behind.
Tennessee? Hyatt.
Jalen
Ooh,
Hyatt's good.
Not a first round pick.
ooh.
Nah,
I
he
He's
gonna
not
like
a
go
him.
first
third
round pick,
now.
no.
He gonna go third.
I like him.
He's a good player though. He's definitely a good player. There's a lot. I don't want to say a lot, but there's a good amount of pretty darn good wide receivers. I like Michael Wilson from Stanford. I like who else I like down. I'm trying to
Your
think
mic
like
sounds
lower
far away,
rounds.
Castro.
Oh, for real?
He like literally
How
on
about
his
now?
mic though.
Yeah,
but
I'm
it
like
don't
right
sound
on.
like,
You can't.
I mean,
It might be the I
I
don't
know
know
I'm not
what. It might be
tripping.
the Jan. No, it might be Jan. It might be under a different mic. It might be under my. Yeah, I don't know how
Yeah.
to change it. You'll learn. I'll learn though. You know what I'm saying? Live and learn.
We all know.
But no, I
We all
think.
know Stu the loudest.
Yeah, Stu definitely the loudest.
It's always me.
Where you get your mic at, man?
I will probably
Everybody
be the
knows
loud
too.
mouth. I'll
Your
probably be
voice,
the loud
you got
He got the loudest mic. Where you get it from,
a
man?
distinct voice, dude.
mouth. Hey,
That's
I
what
grew
makes
up on
him,
I
man.
grew up on the corner of 15th and Girard in North Philly. Trust me, it's a lot. You got to be loud to be heard over
Hey,
there.
You
Castro.
gotta be heard. Yeah, I respect that.
Oh,
That. What up?
So okay.
Richard Allen, huh? Richard
So what you
Allen guy.
thinking, man? We're trading up
Yeah.
for Will Anderson or what?
I don't think we're gonna be able to get that high, man.
Too
I
high,
really
huh?
don't.
Too high,
I would
huh?
love to get up there. Yeah, I would love to get up there and get a Will Anderson, or even if you go up that high and get a Jalen Carter, I'll be cool with either of them. But I just don't think we'll get that high. I mean, you know, with Howie Roseman, you never know.
We
but
might get
I
Jalen
just don't
Carter.
think this year.
We might
Yeah,
get
I wouldn't be
Jalen
surprised.
Carter.
I wouldn't be surprised if he falls past 5. I think the Eagles are going to be seriously on that phone, like trying to blow teams up, like hey, what we got to do? What we got to do? I'm sure that he's already, got.
They're gonna move
I'm sure
up.
he's already got some preliminary
move
talks in place.
So if we get
I'm sure.
Jalen Carter,
I wouldn't be surprised.
that's like we could still get Buda Baker, right?
Yeah, probably.
It depends on what you give up. Yeah, but you probably could. You probably could. It depends on what you have to give up.
Well, they was talking.
I
They were
wanted.
talking about the trading for Buda Baker with the number 3 pick, but I can't see us going up that high.
Yeah, I would love that though. If we could figure something out to get 2 amazing players with our first 2 picks, because
Two
if you walk out of
defenses?
there and you're
Oh,
saying, all right,
God.
we basically, not yeah, if you walk out of there and you're saying, all right, basically we got our starting safety for the next 3-4 years, and we have our starting defensive tackle and whatever you want to call it, for the next 10. Like, yeah, I'm cool with that. That's a good use of our assets. And then you figure out what you do to get in the middle rounds. That's the only thing. I think that the Eagles don't want to have
Now, let me
4
say,
picks, but they might.
You think it's more reasonable to get
now,
Buda
now let me
Baker
say
after
this
the
here,
draft?
Joe.
Oh, sorry.
Now, the Eagles could possibly do this: trade the 30th pick, go down to 36, and grab Gibbs.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I would not mind that. I think that if Bijan goes top 15, I think Jahmyr Gibbs goes.
So we'll have
round.
Carter and Gibbs with our first 2 picks.
Yeah, I would love that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would be mad at that. I don't know how
But
you could be
for
mad.
anybody that wants Buda Baker, you think we could probably get him after the draft?
Yeah, I think you could. I
Possible.
think that. Yeah, I think especially depending
Now
on
it's
his
how he
trade
does one of
market,
his
if
things again.
people aren't. Yeah, I mean, if people aren't offering them anything crazy in this draft, why not wait till after the draft and grab the best draft pick you can in next year's draft? So I could definitely see that. Or even like a late round pick that they're just like, all right, give us your 2 7s and a 4th next year or a 3rd next year or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to get it done. But I could definitely see that. And I would be okay with that. I would be very happy.
All right. So
Actually,
what do y'all think about Henry? What would y'all do to get Henry in Philadelphia?
I'll give up like a 3rd.
Nothing
like
more.
a 3rd
Nothing
next
more
year
than
to
a
I give you a
round
3rd
pick.
next year. I can't even give you a 3rd this year.
Yeah.
It would be tough to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, player wise.
No, I wouldn't give him nothing this year.
Players at the position.
I'm looking in the other
But I would
direction.
do like a 3rd.
I'll do a Henry trade after the draft, not during the draft.
I'm looking in the other direction
Dude, you
because
wouldn't
I'm
want
trying
you
to
wouldn't
get
want
younger with
Henry
my young
too?
quarterback.
No, I don't want Henry in Philly, but just like if we don't get a running back in the draft, I'd wait after the draft to get a Henry. That'd be the backup plan.
And it's all about price. What you got to give up draft wise. I mean, his number. I know he's got like 10 million. I think he's got like a 10
I can
mil
see
cap
that.
hit. He's got like a 10 mil cap hit, but at the end of the day, that's not what you're going to be paying, especially if it's after the draft. So that I think his cap hit will be more around like 8 mil if you're able to restructure and figure it out because he has 2 void years. So I mean,
I saw
we probably won't get him for that much.
I saw like the thing.
Okay.
It was like I saw like a cap thing. It was like I think 6 million, and then the 2 void years.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how
So it
realistic
wasn't
that
that
is
bad.
because I think it's more like 8. I think it's more like 8 if you're to restructure it. But again, it depends on what the Titans would be willing to take on. Like if they say, all right, we'll take on half of his contract, so you're only paying 5 or 6 million, but we want a 2nd round pick next year. Then you attack it in that type of way that you're like, all right, I mean, he'll cost around the same as a Bijan. We're not wasting any picks. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it. I wouldn't, outright say no to a Derrick Henry. It depends on everything that goes into it. That's really where I'm at with him. But I think it could happen. Oh snap! Tyler turned on the camera.
Hey,
I'm personally looking in another. I'm personally turning my head the other way. I'm turning my head the other way.
It depends. I mean, if you're willing to spend a number 10 on Bijan Robinson, I don't know why you wouldn't want a Derrick Henry. I think it's like
because I just signed a quarterback that's 24 years old, and I want to get younger guys that's going to grow with my young quarterback.
I mean, but you're going to have 4 or 5 years. If we do not value running backs on the 2nd contract, you can get 4 or 5 years out of Derrick Henry, or 3 or 4. If that's what you're going to get out of a 1st round pick, like it just doesn't, if you're going to, it depends on how much you value the running back. If you value the running back and you're saying, I want a guy for the next 8-9 years, then yes, you go in the draft. But I don't think that's what the Eagles care about. I don't think the Eagles want that. So I don't know. I really don't know. And if you look at Bijan in the next 4 years, you're going to have to make that decision if you're going to pay him. And in the next 4 years, Jalen Hurts cap numbers go way up. So, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it. So it's interesting. It's an interesting. Like I said, I don't think there's any wrong answers. This offseason with this draft, you can do a lot of different things.
I believe if we get Henry or the guy Eccles from the Chargers, we can go to the Super Bowl and win at least 2 Super Bowls while we still got Jalen under that contract.
Definitely not Eckler though.
Eckler gonna be costly.
No,
Look,
I'm
I'm
good
down
with
with
Austin
anything.
Eckler.
I'm
Neither
good with
one of
anything.
I
them.
think Eccles can get the job done.
I think any
Eckler
running back
wouldn't
you
get the
bring
job
in this
done.
building is going to do pretty well. It really depends on what you're looking for. That's really what it comes down to. I think that a lot of this Bijan talk is kind of
Absolutely.
smoke
That's my
screen,
point.
but we'll see what happens. We'll
Fact.
definitely see what
Fact.
happens with that. We shall see what happens with that. I think it's a lot of smoke screens.
I think I'm good on Austin Eckler though.
Yeah, facts.
Definitely
I'd
good
rather
on
have
Austin
Dalvin Cook.
I'm good on
I'd
Austin
rather-
Eckler like I'm good on Zeke.
Facts.
Zeke trash.
I just threw it out there.
I respect it.
Yeah, no, you're all right. You're all
I
right.
understand. I'm just getting. Hey, look, I can't bring anybody in the building. I'm sorry.
Not now, man. We
gotta
have a
stand
window.
down.
Yeah, we have a window to go win a Super Bowl, so it doesn't make sense to
you
just bring
can't.
anybody. But
Yeah, we.
During that window, though, we still gotta have a standard in the players, nah.
Bijan just said if he could play for any quarterback other than
Yeah.
Patrick
He played for
Mahomes, it'd be
Jalen. He
Hurts.
said it on NFL Live.
But he said it to Dan
What happened?
Orlovsky, so that loses like a couple points right off rip.
Yeah, he did say
I
that.
can't stand Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky played for my hometown college, UConn. I can't stand that man.
I saw a tweet.
Eagle, man. It's gonna be all right.
Joe, I saw a tweet saying that from Todd McShay that Jalen Carter won't get taken by Seattle. It's from Todd McShay talking about Jalen Carter, I believe nothing about it.
Right now, it's so tough to really look at like draft news and take it seriously. That's why I said earlier on, like you gotta take everything with a grain of salt because people are assuming. I don't even want to say looking for stories, but people are assuming they're putting 1 and 1 together and trying to make 3 out of it. So it's a weird time right now. The next 2 days are going to be a lot of weird stories. But
I'm gonna just assume that the top 3 guys that I want are not going to be there, and then just pray that they do. Actually,
you gotta pray for the best, prepare for the worst. Right? That's how it goes down. But I think the Eagles are in a good spot.
Yeah. I like the. Yeah, we're in a great spot. We are in a great spot. We're in a great spot.
I mean, it's starting to look more and more like the people we seen being at 10 look like they're gonna be gone. It's kind of weird.
Nolan Smith,
it's gonna be tragic.
Smith, he'll probably be at 10.
I think
that's why we're gonna have to move up to get Carter. That's why we have to move up to get Carter because he's not gonna fall down to 10.
All we have to do is beat the Saints.
Yeah, I know, right? We don't got to move nowhere. God damn, why you had to bring that up? Was that Dev? Was that Dev that brought that up?
Yeah, that was Dev.
He muted it.
Would have beat them.
Mitty said that.
We'd have been in the right spot, though. It's the truth, though.
Yeah, man. If we were at 7, that would be beautiful right now.
We would have been at 7? Damn.
Yeah, 7.
That's a pretty big
Mitchell dropped the ball on us.
Trash. Man. I like Gardner Minshew, too. That's the sad part. I actually liked him. I wanted him to work out.
Because he played great in that one Jets game last year.
Exactly, right? Yeah, he did good against the Cowboys.
I liked him when he wasn't with us.
He did all right against the Cowboys. I mean, it just like, honestly, our defense lost that game, not our offense, to me, at least. But,
no, didn't Minshew get like an ungodly amount of times?
Well, he got two. He gave up 2 interceptions, but he put
Third
up
and
like
30.
30 points.
Yeah, 3rd and 30. How about that play?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was just. That's what I'm
Josiah
saying. That
Scott.
defense it was like ridiculous. It was like, what are y'all doing? I know we had a lot of injuries, but it's like, bruh, come on, like show up. You got to show up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
That was
They
right
they
after
showed up. They
Maddox
showed up
went
for
out the
one
game
play.
too.
They showed up for like one quarter, and then it was wrap. I just remember that
it was terrible.
Josh
I
Sweat pick
believe
6. That
right
was
there.
hilarious, though.
I
That was
believe right
hilarious.
there. If we make that play, we win the game.
Facts. All right, guys. So I have about like 5. My girl just came over and gave me the eye.
We win the game. Absolutely.
I'm leaving in about 5 minutes to go down to Kansas City. Do y'all have any questions
Hey,
about the draft? Like any
safe
last
travels, man,
questions?
for
Safe
sure.
travels, man.
I appreciate you. Y'all got any last questions about the draft? Anything y'all want to know before I do get out of here?
Safe travel to you, man.
I appreciate you.
So how are you doing?
And I know none of y'all.
Because you said you're doing interviews, right?
Yeah. So I have credentials.
Like, what
right?
I know none of y'all guys probably know who I am. I'm the guy. I got Bet on Yourself Media.
Oh, word. All right, bet. Yeah, I'll be seeing you in the comments.
Okay.
I appreciate the love. Hell yeah. I'm gonna check your channel out, bro. I have a nice little 18-hour drive in front of me, so I'll have time.
Yep. So show me a little love, fellas.
I got you.
I appreciate it.
But
Yeah,
what was
bro.
he saying? What was he saying, Tyler?
Oh, and just like how it like where
I'm new to this,
where
but I'm
exactly?
true to this.
Say again, Tyler, about that.
But where exactly would you do the interviews? Is there like a specific place or just?
Yeah, I'm waiting on to know where I go. But I'm assuming that it's gonna be like either in the green room or they're gonna have a separate section for like the media to talk and everything. When they did the combine, it was like a whole different room, and you just went in there and they had like time for you to speak. So I'm assuming it's like that. Again, like I said, I'm kind of waiting to know. I've never been out there, so I don't know where it's gonna be. I've seen the green room. I've seen where everything's gonna take place. So I have no idea where it is, but I know I'm gonna be there. I know I'm gonna be up in there. I'll be.
Hey man, let us get a vlog.
Drive safe, brother. Drive safe.
Yeah, you
heard me,
know.
Joe?
Yeah, I'll be on here.
Congrats to you, brother.
Hey, vlog it out though. We want to see the travel too. We want to see the 18 hours, man.
I got you. My girl will like that.
Don't show us no Forrest Gump, man.
I'm gonna show y'all the bubble shrimp, the shrimp. I'm excited for the barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
That's why everybody keeps.
I'm out of here, man. Y'all have a good one. Take it easy.
Yes, sir. Take it easy, Dad.
Yeah.
Easy.
All right.
But yeah,
they got good food down there, man.
I'm hyped.
Make sure you
definitely
visit the Hall of Fame down there too.
They got a Hall of Fame down there? I didn't know they had a Hall of Fame in Kansas City. That's dope.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that. You learned
They
something.
got the Baseball Hall of Fame down there. The Negro Hall of Fame is that.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's dope. All right, yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. But I am about to get out of here, you guys. I appreciate everybody showing love, man.
It's nice. It's a real nice place to visit, man.
Later, Mike.
I'm hyped for it,
Later, Joe.
I'm hyped for it. Be safe, y'all. Be safe. Take it easy.
Later.
All right, later, Joe.
Fly was flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man soft. Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.